Welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about how to write NEBOSH IGC Risk Assessment. So in this presentation, it will outline the practical application of the risk assessment and that is required in IG2 of the NEBOSH IGC certificate, which is a level 3 certification. It focuses on identifying the workplace hazards, evaluating their level of risk, and recommending effective control measures. The goal is to ensure a safer work environment while demonstrating compliance with the international health and safety standards. And here is the presentation. This is the expanded form of the presentation, which we are going to look today. So, you see that you should aim to complete this entire section in 150 to 200 words. That's your target. Apart from that, what details are required? The details are like name of the organization, site location where this is located, the number of workers, general description of the organization, description of the areas to be included in the risk assessment, and any other relevant information. If you look closely, you will find that there are two asterisk marks. One is with the name of the organization and the another is with the site location. Below it's mentioned that if you are worried about the confidentiality, you must or you can invent a false name and location of your organization, but all other information provided must be factual. So here you can choose any imaginary name and any imaginary location of the organization for which you are writing the report. That's all. Moving to the next slide, you see name of the organization. So for that, complete name of the organization must be mentioned, like ABC Limited or XYZ Limited. That is what you need to mention. Apart from that, you can say Larsen and Turbo or any other name that suits your organization. Apart from that, a fictional name can also be used, like ABC XYZ Limited. You can use that, no issues. For address, you should take the complete address, and for that, I recommend you to take the help of the Google Map location to write the address. Apart from that, you can also invent an address like XYZ of XYZ G city of XYZ country. That is how you can do that. Now, apart from that, you should mention the number of workers, and for the calculation of number of workers, you should calculate all the workers in all the three shifts. Suppose in an organization, 20 people work in general shift and 4 people work in shift. So 4 people in morning, 4 people in evening, and 4 people at night shift. Accordingly, 12 extra people apart from this 20 general shift people are included. Hence, the total number of workers are 32, not 24. Okay. Moving to the next, you need the general description. For that, you should mention where the plant is established, major products, what it produces, product quantity, how much quantity it produces, brand name of the product, like Tata Tea, whatever the brand name, some name of the products you should mention here, what they're producing, or the category of the product that they're producing. Suppose if it is a tea manufacturing company, you should mention some of the name of the teas, like black tea, like a green tea, and other teas that they're manufacturing. So that is how you should mention the brand name of the product. Apart from that, you should also mention that they are having accreditations or professional bodies like ISO 19001, ISO 14001 certifications, ISO 9001 certification, ISO 45001 certifications that they're having. Okay. Apart from that, you should also mention the number of shifts, including the shift starting time and ending time. For that, suppose there were, and also you should mention the number of work days in a week. Suppose the company is following a 5 days a week pattern, which means 5 days work and 2 days holiday. The the company operates in a general shift, which starts at 9 a.m. in the morning and ends at 5 p.m. in the morning, in the evening. So that is how you should mention. If the company is working in shift pattern, you should mention the company is working from in in 3 shifts, starting from 6 a.m. in the morning to 2 p.m. in the evening, then 2 p.m. in the evening to 10 p.m. in the night, and then 10 p.m. in the night to 6 a.m. in the morning. These are the 3 shifts if the company is operating in shift pattern. Apart from that, you should also mention the lunch time in each of the shifts. So if it is a general shift from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you should mention that the shift starts from 9 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m., including a 1 hour lunch break from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. That is how you should mention the lunch period also. So here you need three information. The first is number of days in a week. The second is shift timing start and end. And the third is lunch timing. Okay. Thank you. Then you should mention the activities being carried out at the time of visit. So when you are visiting, like painting activities going on, housekeeping activities going on, food preparation is going on, whatever activity is being carried out, you should mention it here. Then any other information such as awards or contributions for the society. So if the organization has received any award, you should mention it or what they have contributed. Like they have donated 5 million rupees to one of the community schools for better education. They have also gifted some of the school buses to some of the institutions, or their social services are very good. Like they are planting this number of trees or whatever they are doing, you should mention it here. Okay. So for that, you can take help of the company website for this data. Now moving to the next slide. All this we have already discussed. Now you need to mention the description of the area to be included in the risk assessment. For that, you should mention all the areas of the plant assessed during the visit. So suppose you have visited the plant, you should mention like workshop, admin building, canteen building, then work yard, fabrication yard, then whatever sites you have visited, you should mention it. Loading, unloading area, all these areas you should mention here. Now, any other relevant information in this row, you should mention the person who is responsible for HSE responsibilities, person who is having the HSE responsibilities, and to whom he is reporting. In maximum cases, you should also always mention the top person, the top management, like the chairman or the CEO, to whom the health and safety responsible person is reporting to. You should take care of that. Now, this is the second section of part A, which you should complete in 100 to 200 words. Now, in this section, it is written that this section can be completed after you have completed the entire risk assessment. What you should write here, outline how the risk was assessed and how the assessment was carried out, which includes sources of information consulted, what sources you have referred, whom you have spoken to, how you identified the hazards, what is already being done, and any additional control measures that may be required. So for that, we will look like we should describe the details of sources of data collection. From where we are getting the details of these sources. So for the first, you should mention the website, especially the ILO website, HSE UK website, and IOSH or OSHA, or any other relevant website related to the organization. Suppose it is a construction company, then you should mention the website related to construction field. If it is a manufacturing, then you should go for that. If it is oil and gas, you should refer some other websites. Okay. Now next you should mention the NEBOSH textbook. Then observations on visiting the plant or organization, like you have searched some of the workers were not wearing PPEs, or some of the workers were not wearing safety helmets, or they were not using hand gloves, or their hand gloves were torn, or their shoes were damaged, or their helmets were damaged. So this is the observation that you need to mention here. Apart from that, you should also mention interviewing of the workers, that you have interviewed the workers. Also, you had conversation with the HSC representative of the organization. So that you need to mention here. Apart from that, you should mention the company or organization safety related documentations like the risk assessment, the HSC policy, the accident register, the health and safety records. All these you need to mention here. Apart from that, you should mention the sources of information for additional controls from where you have put the control measures. It should not be out of a thin air. You should always have a reference for the control measures like ILO, HSE UK website, or IOSH or OSHA for the reference to prepare the risk assessment. So that is what you should mention in part A of the risk assessment as a complete risk assessment of part A. For part B and part C and part D, we will prepare separate videos for you. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to our channel. Keep liking us, keep sharing us to promote more about this channel. Thank you.